click, 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 click. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are not, welcome back. Hugs. Bougie kiss. Mwah. Bougie kiss. Mwah. Hi, guys. Oh, my God. How's everybody? I hope that everyone has been having a great summer. If you are somewhere that has been unfortunately affected by the hurricane, you are in my thoughts. Please be safe. Please, please, please stay safe. And I'm sending so much love and good energy towards you and yours and your loved ones. Much love to you all. Other than that, I hope that everybody's been doing well and thriving and being happy and focusing on them. Before we jump into it, you already know what I'm about to say. www.lawofassumptionprincess.com for one-on-one coaching with yours truly and or anything else that I have to offer. As always, make sure that you read that disclaimer in full before booking because it helps you out. It helps me out. And it just makes everything easier for the both of us. Thank you. Love you. Okay, you guys. So, I have been getting so many. This is actually quite a long overdue video because I have been getting so many comments, questions, concerns online and even in client calls about subliminals. And y'all know, if you know me, if you know Tiffriah, if you know Miss Tiffany-Patrice, you know that I love subliminals. It is no secret that I am in love with subliminals and I am addicted to subliminals. However, from the time that I have started using subliminals, even before I knew about the law of assumption, I've been using subliminals. And around that time, too, especially, there were a lot of, unfortunately, limiting beliefs surrounding subliminals. And I have noticed a lot of people coming to me lately asking questions about subliminals in particular because there unfortunately are so many limiting beliefs and narratives around subliminals, which confuses me a bit. So that is going to be this video today, is debunking these myths about subliminals. So let's get into it. Let's get into the basics. Hold on. My hands are ashy. I don't know. Why are my hands ashy? Like, why do they have to be ashy right now? I hate feeling dry. Oh, nail cam very fast. Very quickly. Very quickly. Get into it. Okay, so anyway, let's start with this. What is a subliminal? A subliminal is an audio that has messages that are within the audio that your conscious mind cannot weed out because you cannot hear them. They are not necessarily legible. They're not audible enough for your conscious mind to pick up on enough to be able to be aware of what is being said and conveyed verbatim, which in turn makes it easier for your subconscious mind to just pick up on the messaging and the programming that the audio is regurgitating because your conscious mind isn't there to get in the way and portray any limitations or resistance, yada, 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 right? So obviously on a surface level, this is a very good and positive thing when you are listening to a good and positive tape, because the subliminal's job is to just implement a new story without your conscious mind being of any worry or blockage for you. Now, here's where things start to get a little bit sticky. I see so many, even under my video. I need to start putting disclaimers maybe in my description so that you guys know this. Okay, so first things first, I just want to say this. I do not adhere to any, and when I say any, I don't adhere to any limiting beliefs or rules around subliminals. Okay, so meaning I am not of the belief that a subliminal only works if you have on headphones or earphones. I am simply not of that belief because I think that it's silly to insinuate that your mind can only pick up on a sound or a repeated phrase if you have headphones on. Now, that is not me saying that it can't help. If you have headphones on, that could definitely help. If you have earbuds on, that can definitely help. But I feel like the general consensus is that if you don't have headphones or earbuds, or you don't want to use those, which me typically, I listen to my subliminals on a speaker, okay? Unfortunately, the narrative that has been really cultivated is that it won't work or it won't be as effective, okay? So that is just simply not true. I feel like that is a very silly way of thinking about it, and I don't understand why that has been conveyed, because it's just not the truth. Like, can you hear music in your earphones and in your headphones? Sure. But can you also hear them on your speaker? Sure. So, like I said, having your earphones or your headphones, it will aid in your experience. And for some people might say it makes it better or easier for me. And that is valid. I'm not coming to fight against that. But do not convince yourself that because you have a preference or of a listening style, that the subliminal is then null and void, because your preference is not headphones or earphones. So that's number one. Number two, I see a lot of, how many times do I have to listen to this? How many times do I have to listen to this in order to get results? How many times do I have to play this and da-da-da-da-da? Here's the thing. A subliminal is a tool. A subliminal is merely a tool in assisting you to understand that whatever it is that you want, you already have it. So when you go into listening to a subliminal, you're supposed to be just like with the law. You're supposed to be in the headspace of, I already have it. This thing is just helping me. This subliminal is just helping me to re-implement the fact that I already have it. So I don't listen to a specific subliminal and say, okay, I'm going to be very anal and calculated, and I'm going to listen to this 86 times, and I have to make sure that it translates to this amount of minutes. And if it doesn't translate to this amount of minutes, if it's not 100 minutes exactly, then I didn't really do it correctly, and my manifestation isn't going to come. Do you see how that starts to get very, very heavy and very annoying? And the whole idea of the concept of subliminals, y'all, is to help you, not to further stress you out. A subliminal exists for the reason of literally helping you in the simplest of ways. It cannot get any simpler than turning on your apparatus and playing the subliminal. Your only job while listening to the subliminal is to accept the fact that your desire is done. You don't have to calculate how many times you have to listen to it. I truly do not believe that there is a limitation. I truly do not believe that there is a way that you can exceed how often you're supposed to listen to it. If I want to listen to a subliminal as the God of my reality, and I want to listen to it one time, and I decide that that one time is enough, then it'll be enough. If I want to listen to a subliminal as the God of my reality and decide that I want to listen to it 800 times just because I want to, guess what? Same effect, okay? So that is why they're there. They are there for an ease of experience. They are not there to continue to make your life more laborious. They're supposed to be easy. They're supposed to be enjoyable. They're supposed to be fun. And they're supposed to be stress-free, okay? Number three, can you mix and match subliminals? Can you listen to different ones? Can you mix it up? Do you have to listen to one consistently? Do you have to only listen to subliminals from a certain creator and not listen to subliminals from another creator? Do what you want. 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 I have a playlist of over God knows how many subliminals. I'm also going to be working on a playlist just of my subliminals, so that when you guys go to my channel, y'all can click that and it'll take you to that. So that should be up by the time that this video goes up. So go ahead and check that out if you want to just go through all of my subliminals and, you know, sort through that playlist. Got that together for you guys. But at any rate, you can do what the hell you want. And I am saying this from experience. I don't get on this channel, y'all, and just say anything to y'all because it sounds good. I'm speaking from my own experience, okay? Somebody else, quite naturally, might have a different experience where they say, hey, this is how I do it. This is what works for me. I only listen to blank, blank, blank creator, and they don't veer off from that, which I'm not saying is invalid. But I'm saying you do not have to pigeonhole yourself to a specific creator and to a specific subliminal. I mix up subliminals all the time, because I listen to subliminals based off of my intention and what feels good to me in that moment. You get what I'm saying? So I could be mixing subliminals from creators, and again, because I'm in control of my reality and I'm the ultimate, I'm just deciding that they're all coinciding together in harmony. Because if I'm listening to different subliminals, but they are all conveying positive messages, I just don't believe that there's any such thing as clashing. Now, some specific subliminal creators might tell you, hey, don't mix this with anything. And that is because every subliminal creator has their own formula and has their own set of affirmations. Some people add in the HZ, the frequencies, and, you know, all types of things. And I feel like, okay, those warnings might be valid as well. But again, I'm telling y'all from my experience, I have replayed those kind of subliminals again and again and again. I have mixed them again and again and again. The sun has not exploded. The earth has not melted. We are still here. My life is still great. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like if anything, those warnings are more so there for your ease of experience, because when you are listening to subliminals, it is important for certain things to be in place, and I will get to that in a second. But I feel like that is just because you don't want to, again, with subliminals, you don't want to make it feel like you're a hamster on a wheel. You don't want to be listening to subliminals because I got to get a result. I got to get a result. I got to get a result. If I don't listen to 700 different subliminals, I'm not going to get a result. Anything that you do that has to do with manifestation and anything within this law, you should be doing because you want to and because it feels good. So when I'm listening to my subliminals in whatever fashion I see fit for myself in that very moment, it's genuinely out of pure enjoyment, okay? I listen to whatever subliminals I identify with on that day and in that moment, and that is it. Also, I've said this before in other videos, but just to point this out to you guys, it's still 100% true. In every single video that I make, I play a subliminal in the background. Y'all just don't hear it because why? It's a subliminal. I will even tell you guys when I'm playing my own subliminals. Like I'll tell y'all, hey, I have the princess sub on, or you know, whatever. Y'all know it's tea. But at any rate, now I will say this: when it comes to subliminals, what you do want to make sure that you're doing is staying hydrated. Okay, you want to stay hydrated. That is important. That's important regardless. You want to stay hydrated no matter what, babes. Being hydrated is just important. That's just humanness, human life source. Okay, you want to stay hydrated all the time, year round, all the time. But especially with subliminals, because your mind is absorbing a lot of new information, and so it is kind of overworking itself to an extent. Not anything that's inherently negative or bad, but it's just receiving a lot of new programming. So you do want to make sure that you're staying hydrated. You do want to make sure that you're not going insane and going off the rails and blah, 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 blah. Also, I want to make you guys aware of this as well. If you are listening to a subliminal at night, especially if it's a calm subliminal, okay, you want to make sure that your subliminal is on a volume that you can still hear it. You don't want it to be blaring, but you do want to hear it. You just don't want it to be super loud. And the reason is the same reason as before, because your mind, as you're sleeping, is still accepting all of the new implements, the new messages, while you are sleeping. So because of that, if you play your subliminal on a higher setting, when you wake up, you are going to feel like you're exhausted. And I'm saying that from experience. I'm saying that from experience. When you wake up, you are going to feel tired because it's a lot of messaging that is getting into your subconscious as you sleep. So you do want to make sure that when you are listening to subliminals before bed and at night, that you are turning them down to a comfortable volume setting, the lowest setting that you can get them, but still faintly hear them. Because you're going to wake up tired if you're listening to them at the volume 50. You don't need that. You don't want that. Okay. Y'all know I'm a bit of a fast talker. Like I'll be on my Trisha Paytas shit. So I'm trying to slow it down because I do have like a lot of valid points to make in this video. But we are nearing the end, and I want to say this because I know that this is a concern and something that gets talked about. I don't really think it gets talked about enough is really what I was actually trying to say. So, I know that there's a bit of apprehension when it comes to knowing which subliminals are right to listen to, because of the fact that when you are listening to a subliminal, the truth is you don't really know 100% what you're listening to. A lot of creators like me, myself, I do put the affirmations in the description for you guys so that you can gauge whether or not you identify with the affirmations in the subliminal, and so that you just know what you're listening to, you know what I mean? But every single creator does not do that for whatever unknown reason. And I know that there is a lot of apprehension and a little bit of fear when it comes to listening to a subliminal, even if there are affirmations in the description, even if, and like, how do you gauge and how do you know that what you're listening to is sincere and positive and pure? So for me, this is just me personally speaking, I feel as though you can tell. I genuinely feel as though that your intuition, your higher self, your God self, your inner knowing can gauge it, because truly there have been times, a few, thankfully not a lot. I've been listening to subliminals for some years now, and I've been in this community for some time, like I've said, and I haven't really come into contact with too many subliminals that don't make me feel positive or don't make me feel good. However, on the few occasions that I did, the few occasions that I have, it has been quite easy for me to pick up on them, because I can sense it in how I'm feeling. I can sense it in the thoughts that I'm thinking, the way that my state is, my state of being. Like, I'm aware enough to know, like, if I am in a generally positive state and I'm going into listening to a subliminal and I feel like I just shift out of that state, meaning nothing transpired negative, nothing negative happened, I just quite naturally shifted into a less favorable state. I feel like that is a clear indication that the subliminal itself is not really kosher. And there has been a particular creator that I have taken out of my rotation because of the fact that I did not identify with their specific subliminals. I'm not going to necessarily accuse them of doing anything negative, you know what I mean? Because that's very loaded. And unfortunately with this, you don't have any concrete proof of any of it, which is why it is important to have discernment. It is important to be aware of how you're feeling. It is important to be aware of what you're, not even what you're thinking, because we know that thoughts are thoughts, but your disposition. It's important to be aware of your general disposition and how you feel in retrospect and in conjunction to listening to the subliminal. Is it aiding in your overall God self? Is it adding to the element of knowingness? Is it making you feel more confident? Is it making you feel more secure? Or does it make you feel uneasy? Do you feel a little bit anxious? Do you feel a little bit weary? Did anything happen between the time that you put that subliminal on and those feelings start to transpire? You get what I'm saying? So it's all about discernment, and it's all about being able to gauge what feels right for you and what feels right for your higher self. And, you know, since I've been listening to subliminals for a very long time and I kind of identify as somebody who can gauge things properly for myself, I don't really have a fear, because I just know. I just know. Everything goes back to the law, right? So it's like, you just know. You just know when something feels good. You just know when something doesn't. So with that being said, if you are listening to a subliminal and you're kind of feeling like you're not stable, you're kind of feeling uneasy, there is no reason to get alarmed. There is no reason to psych yourself out. Oh no, I did something wrong. This is fucking up my manifestations. Blah, 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 blah. No need for all of that. It's okay. You're good. You're fine. Decide that it did not affect you negatively. Decide that there's no issues transpiring, because there really isn't. There really isn't. And you can even decide, because this is kind of pretty much how I go into listening to subliminals. You can decide that you only come across subliminals that benefit you and are for your higher good. Because that's literally what I've done since day one, even before I knew about law of assumption. And that's genuinely what my experience with subliminals thus far has really been. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight when it comes to that. I feel like this is such a long video, but hey, what's wrong with long videos? Sometimes they're necessary. Like, sometimes we got to give the girls what they need. We got to dish out the information. If there just so happens to be a specific thing that I did not touch on in this video that you guys would like for me to touch on, please feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. I always read the comments, okay? I might not always respond, but I always see them, I always read them, and I always appreciate the feedback, and I would love to help you guys in any way that you see fit. And don't forget to follow me on all my socials. They're all listed right here. Keep up with your girl. And until next time, you know that I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I'll be switching in positions for